Financial Field in South Philly. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37th. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
And this one too low.
We have to see what kind of looks this defense is going to throw at him as this game moves along, but they're in a zone to start. I do think we'll see plenty of man coverage as we move along, but the first throw of this one, incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
For Eagles, first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Well, you want to make sure that on an opening drive that you at least stay out there for a while and get into the flow of the game. A 3-and-out would have been problematic, but that's a good throw there to ensure they get another set of downs.
Here's Hurts to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again. So nothing doing there. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. The defense, they brought the house. That O-line, they were overwhelmed.
To put it mildly, because they didn't have enough bodies to block all the guys that came at them. Their best move, how they would have been better served, just turn around and yell, "Look out!" because here they come.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Throwing is Hurts. He'll try to do it himself. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Looking to put a drive together. Now Geno. Short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2 yards to go, second down. Now Smith. He'll get this out to Genty. And he's taken down inside the 30. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So the completion good for just 3. And it's second down.
And 7 at the Eagles' 26-yard line.
Smith throwing again. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Throwing now is Geno. And that is incomplete. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Carlson for the Raider field goal. A 43-yard attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So they're able to end this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. They're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Second and 10.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
2nd and 10. Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
3rd and 4. They're going to look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
intended for
Every
A.J.
offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Back deep for the Raiders is Trey Tucker. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. His throw incomplete.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a run. Here's the first-round pick from April's draft. And he stopped immediately there. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Everybody was coming on the blitz that time, and they got home.
And you know the expression, hat on a hat, in terms of blocking, trying to keep your quarterback protected? Well, if you don't have enough hats, that's the end result. Your quarterback goes down, and sometimes he goes down hard.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is brought in at the 21. Shifts by him. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now 1st down. Looking to put a drive together. Brown goes in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Barkley. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
No gain on the play.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
At the 42-yard line.
They'll look to throw here. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Gain of 11. And an Eagles 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. Down to about the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself, you don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
Over the middle, complete. That's Cooper. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Raiders' 12-yard line.
A handoff to Barkley on the option.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Eagles have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3.
Raiders 3.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Looking to put a drive together. Play action. It's Smith.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down.
Nolan Smith brings him down on the pass rush.
It's 3rd down. 3rd and 15.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a third down coming up. Out of the gun, Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Thornton. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. That'll give him 8 that time. And it'll be fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Taking it about the 16. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And it will be Eagles football, first and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
And 4 at the 37-yard line.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
In motion left comes Brown. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that's going to make it fourth down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback, because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
The drive will begin with a run by Genty. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
From the 22, here's second and 8. They'll go again with Genty. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
And that is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's second and 10. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a third down.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
After the run, Smith going to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards.
On 3rd down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the first down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
On 1st down, it's Genty. And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal. Now brings up a decision on 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. Carlson able to put this one through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. And it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Eagles first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Smith catches left side. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down.
On the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 44-yard line.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4.
Hurts sets up to throw it. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 39.
That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
First down.
But they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Towards the end zone for Brown. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And that penalty will move the ball to the 1-yard line.
It's so difficult to cover a fade route, and you're talking about into the end zone, and sometimes you panic a little as a defender, and the offensive guys are really smart. Sometimes they jump back into you and create the contact.
Barkley is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
The 3-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. And he'll score! Touchdown, Eagles! Jalen Hurts, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Made a great read there, CD. Good decision to keep it.
And I think what we just saw there is someone understanding that throwing the ball through that traffic can also be fraught with disaster. Keep it, use your legs, get into the end zone.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Left side complete to Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Smith.
That's complete. It's Ashton Jeanty. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. Nice pickup for a first down.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
To the air again, Smith.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Smith.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback.
The Eagles offense and Jalen Hurts ready to take over once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Throwing is Hurts. And that's going to be caught downfield by Brown.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Hurts.
Over the middle to Smith. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 43-yard line.
Second down and a yard. Here's Hurts to throw.
And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will do it for this first half.
So halftime straight ahead. Let's get you down to the Sunshine State. And Scott Hansen getting through the break at record pace and right back to football. Third quarter, here we go.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. Now, they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
They'll start on the ground with Ginty.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
In there to drop him for the loss, linebacker N'Kobe Dean, an outstanding play.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Smith now to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Here's Smith.
That is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at the 20. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The tackle made by Landon Roberts. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Eagles first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
A first down carry for Barkley. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's 3rd and 3.
He'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now Geno. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Geno.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. This is taken at the 18.
So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into it.
Oh, an ill-advised throw there, and it's intercepted.
And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one, because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Gino going to hand it to Genty.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Smith. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes.
Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up 4th down.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this, because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19.
Barkley inside handoff. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now 3rd and 5.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
It's fourth down.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. So out come the Raiders. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Smith. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Thornton, the motion man right.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. He'll look to set up his blockers. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
At the 25-yard line.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 4.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A big kick that time, 52 yards.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Geno now to throw.
Tucker hauls it in over the middle.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Here's Smith. It's caught. Lockett. It'll be a gain of 5. And it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Smith. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Back to throw here. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
It's Sidney Brown with it. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. But here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and saying, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages. But not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
And out and out come the Eagles.
They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Up the middle with Barkley.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Another Eagles first down.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
No gain on the play.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. Another try for Barkley. And same result. He's going to take this just to the line of scrimmage before running into a brick wall. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal.
Hurts sets up to throw it. They'll try and do this, and
he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts,
his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns third and goal into a touchdown. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Raiders 6.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Raiders heading out to take over.
Looking to put a drive together. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down.
Jalen Phillips picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Smith completes this one to Thornton. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Throwing is Smith. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Desperation time for Smith on fourth down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They'll start by running the option to the right.
And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the first down.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Boy, the pursuit there, terrific from the linebacking core.
Oh, it certainly was, because so many times on an option play, you'll see a linebacker make a beeline for the quarterback and then zip, one cut, and he's grasping at air. But this time, he locked in on him the whole way, took an excellent angle, and his grasp came up with the quarterback.
And the Eagles are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal.
It'll be Hurts on the option.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a third down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pull.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts on target to Dallas Goedert,
as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, yeah, I give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Elliott on for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert.
Jake Elliott.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a fast footwork by White. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
Penalty accepted, and that pushes him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Now it's Smith.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw, Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here we go on 4th. Smith. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Here's a give to Barkley.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
2nd down and 8. Hurts going to keep it running right.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.